Well, full disclosure, my other channel has me joking a lot about drinking Monster energy drinks, and this one I was going to actually drink water, do the opposite thing, and well, that didn't last long. Welcome to episode 3. Oh. Anyway. Today was an impromptu day, and to cap it off, this was episode 3. Was not my intentions to do another video like this. I have an idea, and I will be most likely, I will be doing episode 4 the way I wanted to do this episode, but under the circumstances, I had some free time today, so that changed things, and I took the camera out. This camera, to be exact. I got to be careful. I also cleaned the lens because it had some moisture on it, and I looked up how to clean a lens, properly clean a lens, camera lens, and I said, it's good to know, but I don't have that cleaning solution, so I cleaned it probably the way you're not supposed to. Moving on. So today ended up being a practice day. And I've learned that anytime I get some free time, I'm going to fill it with my camera and practice. Whatever the subject is, whatever the composition might be, or my environment, I'll combine them all and try to practice that way. Today could have been just a random shot day, just working on lighting. But I tried to, instead of spray and pray, I tried to actually have an attention to detail, what I was trying to do. So went outside with my dog Fallon, the other monster. I left a community post today, and at the end of the video, I'll leave a bunch of pictures, including the ones that were in that community post. So I'll have the pictures there at the end. But I just kind of let her do her thing. I didn't really, coax her into anything. I just kind of threw the ball and let her do whatever she wanted to do. At one point, I learned quite a bit. They weren't failures. I'm not one to say that you can't fail at something. I'm not that, for sure. I don't believe in participation trophies, so we'll leave it at that. But watching her run around the fence, I was on the wrong shutter speed to try to capture her, as far as in the moment, still in the moment. So today I tried to work on the intention of actually taking the picture, not just, hey, she's doing this, I'm gonna take a picture of her, or I'm gonna take a picture of some random fence post or something. I mean, it was that, I guess, dull in a way, but to me it was about sets and reps, and that's kind of the thing that everybody should strive for, I guess, not just for photography, but to get better at anything you're doing, sets and reps. So with the intention of paying attention, there you go. Try to slip myself up with that. I worked on patience as well. So I wasn't just taking, like I said, I wasn't spraying and praying and taking a bunch of shots. I was more along the lines, and some would say that was wrong, but I was more along the lines of waiting for the right shot to take. And I'm probably doing things backwards, but I'm learning how to progress forward. And with patience, I watch other people's videos, and they're looking for that exact moment. And once again, I'm not there. I'm not anywhere close, but I find it fascinating that, once again, I live this life of, hustle culture. As far as the fire department, you call 911, we're out the door 100 miles an hour, and on the road, the posted speed limit, I should say. But all jokes aside, it's fast paced. It's go, 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 go. Training's the same way. Hit the ground running, riding a motorcycle. You're inches off the ground, inches off the asphalt as you make your turn, and or just cruising down the road. And one of the things I really enjoy about riding a motorcycle is how open, how free that feels. That's one of those things, if you know, you know. So today, while editing, actually paying attention to what I was shooting, waiting for the right moment, having patience and the intentionality of everything. I noticed that when I was editing the videos through Lightroom, I was listening to music and I was just kind of letting YouTube do its thing, just had a playlist and kind of did its thing. I'm not, somebody joked about, I was still using Pandora, and they were joking. And I was like, oh, that's so old. And I was like, well, I grew up with MySpace too. So there's that. But, I guess the cool thing is Spotify and all that stuff, but I've progressed from Pandora to YouTube Music. And since I have the premium for YouTube, I don't have to listen to commercials, build a queue, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm listening to music, and I've had such a great time, like taking photos today. I had such a great time editing the photos and, coming up with what order to put them in as far as the community post. And once again, the intentionality of that and where to place, and without overthinking too much, but where to place them. And I'm so far from where I want to be, but I'm so far from where I was. It's pretty neat. And I'm infinitely further where I want to be. Don't get me wrong. But even today was not on the calendar, was not scheduled for me to do this. I just had some free time and filled it up, like I said, with a camera. So music. That was a whole different experience from just listening to music, because I'm getting old. I'm getting goosebumps. I've gone quite a bit without listening to music. And it's amazing how a song can bring you back, how a picture can bring you back. And these, older songs or whatever, it was a lot of fun. Today was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And it's going to be, I can't believe like I waited this long. And in one of the other videos I was talking about, like, wanted to be an inspiration, and not for my own personal gain, but to inspire other people. I didn't finish the thought, so I might as well keep going. How I hope to inspire somebody out there that is my age, that's older or younger, but thinks that they've, why start now? And I mean that not just for photography, but for YouTube, and not just for YouTube, but for photography or videography, filmography, whatever it might be. And, oh my gosh, it is so fun. It is so fun. But going back to music, I hadn't listened to it for so long. You could have taken the radio station out, or the radio itself, I guess, AM, FM radio, whatever. Taking it out of my car, my truck. I just didn't listen to it. I was listening to podcasts and try to grow, different ways wherever I was in my life at that point. And it wasn't until the other channel that I run on YouTube where I started getting into, I use Epidemic Sound, and I started piecing together those videos and putting them with music. And that was like just a whole different experience. It started me, and you've seen it in the first two episodes, and whether I've continued on with this or not, I don't know. But I had essentially I have a YouTube title and then a title within that. And I started doing that over on the other channel, the Motovlog channel, and kind of like playing some music. And it just, I don't know, it's so cool to see how a picture can change. They say a picture's worth, there's so many things going on in my head right now. Crazy. They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? Everybody's heard that by now. And depending on the person taking the picture, depending on the person, whether their interpretation is different, or the intentionality of the photographer is made a certain way, but the individual viewing that picture, that photo, that exposure, depending on where they are in their life, depending on what mood they're in, it will completely change it from the next person that sees it. It's a good and bad thing, depending on the photographer, I guess, what he or she wanted it to come across. But for the love of the game, you take the picture, and if it's not interpreted the way you want it to, okay, so be it. So with music, it's the same way. Like, you can change someone's emotion and potentially mood based on the music, the tone, the tonality of the image itself or the video itself, the actors and actresses' faces. And we've all seen it. We've all witnessed movies, obviously, and the score, and it's done a certain way. Video games, the score in there, the drama of a soap opera, right? As cheesy as it is, it really tugs on people's strings, and they're trying to look for that instant hit, that instant mood swing, because soap operas going, not that I'm a full disclosure, I don't watch soap operas, but they're going from scene to scene, from character to character, from, event to event. So they have to change it, especially with commercials involved. But that's just me thinking out loud. So going back to it, it was just a lot of fun listening to music today while editing these photos. And the photos are the most generic thing I could think of. It was just, they were just test photos for me. But I had intention for the photos I took. There wasn't a spray and pray. It was a great learning experience. I learned more from the ones that didn't turn out right than the ones that did. So I'm very grateful for today and the ability to take the camera out. I'm grateful for this, whatever this becomes. And I look forward to the next episode and any comments and stuff that are dropped. I look forward to getting back with you and growing. And listen to music. I guess I'm back. To listen to music. I don't know what's popular now. I have no idea. No clue. Something could be a year old. I joked about that with my wife a couple years ago. I heard a song and I was like, oh, wow, this is nice. Is it new? And she was like, no, it's like 6 months old. Where have you been? Where have I been? Anyway, I guess that's it. Outro. Take care. Goodbye.
In the depths of silence, where echoes remain, you were the sunrise, and I was the rain. A collision of souls, opposing in flight. I was the darkness, you yearned for the light. That kept me alive. You were hello, and I was goodbye. An ember that flickered